Hello everyone and welcome to Wrestling Ramblings episode 6. My name's Terry Speller, I am the Wrestling Superfan. And first of all, I'd like to say thank you to everyone who's liked our Facebook page, the Crunchies Facebook page. It's fantastic. And I apologise to everyone who saw my nakedness as a result. I did promise everyone that if we reached 100 likes, I would do a pose in the style of HBK's Playgirl shoot. We reached 200 likes, so I kind of didn't have much of a choice to do it. So, yeah. Right. Might as well go straight into it. We've got quite a big show at the moment. Well, big show, I say. We've got a fair bit to cover, or a fair bit I'd like to talk about. First of all, past Sunday was Royal Rumble. And as everyone knows, the Royal Rumble is... Hang on, Mike's caught up for some reason. There you go. Sorry. I apologise. The Royal Rumble. First of all, the Royal Rumble has always been one of my favourite pay-per-views. It's always been the one that and WrestleMania are the two big ones. Most of the time because the Royal Rumble is where people turn up. You have people showing up, past superstars turning up, legends returning. You have there's the aura of unpredictability, which is what wrestling is best at. And WrestleMania is just WrestleMania. You have to get WrestleMania. It's the biggest thing ever. But first of all, I want to say is the way the WWE crowd reacted. It's times like that when I don't even have to look at what's going on in the ring. Just hearing the crowd reactions is enough to make the hairs on the back of your arms stand up. That's the reason I'm a fan. Is if the crowd are into it, then I'm into it. And that first match, Bray Wyatt versus Daniel Bryan, was textbook. It was classic. It had best match of the year written all over it so far. And unfortunately Daniel Bryan lost, but what I loved about that whole match is it got a "this is awesome" chant from the crowd, and that happens very rarely in WWE nowadays. On top of that, you had the crowd just... So it's stupid, ridiculous how over Daniel Bryan is. If it is just a simple case of the yes chant is over, I don't think it is just that, because there's something about Daniel Bryan, the way he acts, the way he moves, the fact that the crowd respond to him. It isn't just them chanting yes, 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 or no, no, no. They are chanting for Daniel Bryan. And I watched most of the Royal Rumble, the whole pay-per-view, and throughout the entire thing, for the entire match, you had Daniel Bryan chants. It doesn't matter who you are. That has got if you're Daniel Bryan, that must give you such an adrenaline rush. But the thing is, they've got three ways. I mean, it was quite clear who the top face is right now, and that is Daniel Bryan. And there's three ways WWE can go with the whole situation with Bryan. The bad way is overuse him, have him in everything. You have him out. First out at Raw, last out at Raw. You have him do segments during Raw, through SmackDown. You have him on your adverts. You have him as the face of the DVDs. You have him as the face of the game covers. You have him in the magazine. You have him go to Make-A-Wish Foundation. All of that. But you overuse him and people get bored very quickly. Not to say that's anything wrong with Daniel Bryan. It's just that too much of a good thing. Not saying Cena's too much of a good thing, but Cena does everything in the hopes that he will get to the stage that Daniel Bryan is organically. The worst way, the second thing, would be the worst way to deal with the situation. That is just ignore the whole thing. Think and imagine that it's just Daniel Bryan, the yes chant's over, Daniel Bryan isn't, and the fans are just being smart marks. And that would just be horrible. If the WWE just ignores it and goes, man, it'll just die out on its own. People will get bored. We'll carry on with Orton. We'll carry on with Batista. We'll carry on with Cena. And just, forget Bryan. Bryan is just a flash in the pan. He ain't going to last. That is a horrible, horrible thing to do, because there are people out there, especially indie wrestlers. There's very few indie wrestlers who look like Batista. There are lots of indie wrestlers who look like Daniel Bryan. And to squash Daniel Bryan and make him just a flash in the pan, or make it seem like he's just a flash in the pan and nothing special, that means there's a lot of really, really talented indie guys out there who their dreams will be dashed and they'll slightly feel like they haven't got a chance. And that might mean that people might not get into wrestling thinking, well, I've got to look like Batista. That's just not the way to go, because everyone can be a wrestler. Anyone, any shape, any size. Now the third option they've got, the WWE could go with this, and this is the good one, and that is listen to the crowd. Build him up slowly though. Don't just throw it, go, right, he's really over with the Royal Rumble, let's stick him in a main event. That could work. At the same time, no, you don't want to do like Dolph Ziggler. As soon as they heard the crowd was really behind Dolph Ziggler and the internet was going a bit of a buzz for him, they pushed him, and then they killed him stone dead. And that's just not what we want with Daniel Bryan. They could do it really well. But even if they introduce a King of the Ring style thing, have Daniel Bryan be in 3 or 4 matches and win the King of the Ring, like they did with Stone Cold, and when he beat Jake the Snake Roberts and did the whole you thump your Bible and say about your Psalms and your John 3:16. Well, Austin 3:16 says, I just kicked your ass, or I just whipped your ass. It was a natural thing, and it was, people wanted to see Austin. They got to see Austin so many times in the King of the Ring, and then it delivered at the very end one of the lines that lasted forever now. And if they build him up like that, they could be on to something really, really good. Even if they put him in the chamber, which I believe they are now. Put him in the chamber, but he doesn't have to make him win it, but in a strong manner. Don't make it just like it was a fluke and stuff like that. Hell, we know the guy can wrestle till the cows come home. Stick him as the first person out in the chamber and have him win the thing. Make him go the distance. Keep him strong. Let him win a match at Mania, or even lose the match at Mania, but make it in a strong way. Even if it's a case of he wins the chamber, loses at WrestleMania, and then he chases the gold. So we've got something to root for. Don't just bully him and push him to one side because he's smaller than everyone else, but make him the underdog. Make him something that Rey Mysterio never was. That wrestler who, with Rey Mysterio, God bless him, he's a fantastic wrestler. He was a fantastic high flyer and a luchador, and I do like him a lot. But if you put Rey Mysterio in a ring against someone else, it might be just me, I never feel like Rey Mysterio is doing any damage to any of his opponents. I don't see that Rey Mysterio is doing anything that would cause any harm to his opponents. Most of his offense is rather weak, and it's just high fly stuff, but it's good for the crowd and it's great for the kids. Daniel Bryan is the same, just roughly a bit taller than Rey Mysterio, can do pretty much what Rey Mysterio can do, but everything, 90% of Daniel Bryan's offense looks powerful. For a small guy, he looks like, if he's kicking you, he looks like he could chop down a freaking tree. He is good, and that is something that we need to keep. And if he's chasing the gold like Rey Mysterio did at one point, with the difference would be Rey Mysterio didn't look like he could win it. And do we really, when he was versus Kurt Angle and Randy Orton at WrestleMania, I didn't believe that he would win, and it didn't look like he could win it, because it was just, it's Ray. Whereas if you stuck Daniel Bryan and Kurt Angle and Randy Orton in that match, replaced Ray, put Daniel Bryan in there, you could believe that Daniel Bryan could go toe-to-toe with Kurt Angle, and everyone knows that he could go toe-to-toe with Randy Orton, because that's just how it is. So yeah, they could do it that way, and they could really, really build him up even bigger than he is now. He could be this generation's Austin, possibly, if they just capitalise on this reaction that the fans have for him. That's what they need to do. Anyway, that's enough about Bryan. The next thing on the list is Batista. What a colossal douchebag. He's come back to WWE. I've got a feeling it's because of the Guardians of the Galaxy movie and also the fact of big paycheck. He's come in and they've stuck him straight into the main event at WrestleMania. Don't get me wrong, nothing against the guy. I hope he didn't ask to be put into that position. If he just came in and said, I want to be main event, I don't understand why he hasn't got that. The Rock, I can understand. Rock's a Hollywood actor. The Rock is also The Rock. His main event doesn't matter how, no matter what, his main event, that is it, bottom line. Batista, I would have, if I don't see him as the main event big marquee draw like The Rock was. Batista is more like him versus, not saying it's lesser of a match, but say Batista versus Undertaker. It's that match you'd have before the main event or the match halfway through the night kind of thing. That's what I would see Batista as. I wouldn't see him as like, here is your marquee match, this is the thing that's going to draw people in. I don't see that. And the fact that he came in and won the Royal Rumble was ridiculous, because it means that also this guy who's not wrestled in so many years can take out everyone who has been wrestling day in, day out, non-stop for the past God knows how many years. Nah, that lessens everyone else and beefs him up to a silly level. And the fact that I love the most is the fact that the crowd killed him in the ring. They booed the living shit out of the guy. Roman Reigns instantly became a face, and Batista became a heel, even though they're trying to push him as the main good guy. Oh, it was beautiful, and for a brief second, you wanted to believe that Roman Reigns was going to do it, but you knew in your heart, sadly, that Batista is only there to go on to WrestleMania in the main event, and it was just ugh. But the fact that the crowd was dying for Daniel Bryan to come out. Every time the buzzer went, everyone was chanting Daniel Bryan. And when that number 30 came out, poor Rey Mysterio, they booed the crap out of him as well. And when he got eliminated, they loved it. And as soon as they realised that Daniel Bryan wasn't coming out, that was it. The show was dead. Everyone went on their hands. Nobody gave a shit. Only when it was Roman Reigns and Batista did anyone care. And then when Batista got the dues and won, they hated it. And the reason I'm saying Batista is a douchebag is because apparently he flipped off the fans. Because he was getting booed and wasn't getting the adulation that he wanted and wasn't getting his ego rubbed by all the fans, he stuck his finger up and basically told this crowd to fuck off. That is a douche. And on top of that, when he got to the other end of the ring, when he got to the ramp, he turned around and started mocking Daniel Bryan by doing the yes chant. And now he's apparently got a bee in his bonnet because everyone was hating on him for during the Royal Rumble. Sorry, but you're not liked. And it irritated the hell out of me. And I'm glad the WWE fans and the wrestling fans, people who can see what's going on properly, are the ones who are booing the crap out of what we're getting force-fed. And I love it, and that's the reason why I'm going to probably carry on watching and enjoying this, because I want to see where they're going to take this Daniel Bryan thing, and I want to see exactly how vocal the fans are going to get and how long it's going to take before the WWE turn around and go, yeah, we really need to do something now. Moving on, CM Punk. Is it a work or is it reality? Has he left the WWE? Apparently he told Vince that he was just going to go home and left. He's been pulled from some of the live shows and house shows, but is it just a work? I know it's one of those things that part of you believes that it could be real because he isn't being used as well as he was. Plus also, is he getting a bit iffy because there's so much Daniel Bryan love at the moment? Is it getting to the point? Are we having another Stone Cold Steve Austin situation when Stone Cold realised when Stone Cold went up against Scott Hall at WrestleMania, he wasn't happy about doing it, and then the next night apparently he was going to be in another tag match or something with one of the NWO, and Austin really didn't feel like it was doing any favours for his character, and he took his ball and went home. He left the WWE for a good while, and part of me doesn't blame any of those guys for doing that. Yeah, if you enjoy wrestling and you're a company guy and you want to do the best for the business, then by all means you need to bite the bullet and do what you're told. On top of that, there's only so much of being treated like a complete dickhead that you can take. And CM Punk seems to be treated like a dickhead at the moment. He doesn't seem to be getting put in any matches of any note. Where's the main event? Where's the goal? Where's chasing the gold? Where's any of that? It's just he's been put in a scrappy feud with an old man Kane, who's lost his mask again. Come on, everyone knows Kane only works well when he's got a mask on. When he hasn't got a mask on, he looks so out of shape, so goofy. And also, I've recently watched See No Evil, and I just reminded me of that. So yeah, has he gone? Who knows? We shall see. Is he going to be at WrestleMania? Time will tell. Hopefully it's a work, because if WWE lose someone like Punk, then it's a damn shame, because he is great. Right, it's getting close to WrestleMania time, so we might as well go for the usual rumour that does the rounds. Sting in the WWE. Yes, it really is that time of year. Negotiations are actually still ongoing between Sting and WWE, apparently, and that a decision has to be made within the next 2 weeks to whether or not he joins the company. According to the reports that I've been reading, several factors are still being worked out between both sides. One of them being what Sting is and is not willing to do. Creatively, that's the word. Don't know why I couldn't say that. The backstage feeling in WWE is that Sting realises if he is indeed going to have a run in the company, this is the best time to do it. This doesn't necessarily mean all this has to happen within WrestleMania 30, as Sting could go to work for TNA for another year, but the time is running out. He needs to go to WWE. If he's going to ever do it, he needs to go sooner rather than later. As far as WrestleMania 30 is concerned, the impression has been made in WWE that the match between Sting and The Undertaker will not happen at the pay-per-view. However, the idea of Sting making his WWE debut at Mania has been discussed. That would be good. It would be good if it was a distraction, anything. If Taker loses this year... No, I don't know if Taker could lose this year. Or Taker loses this year, but it's due to distraction from Sting. Or Sting... They could work it. Sting debuts, causes a distraction, causing Undertaker, or even comes in the ring to help the Undertaker for some reason. Don't ask me why or how. I'm just throwing ideas out here. Comes in, helps the Undertaker. Undertaker gets disqualified, but because it's a disqualification, he doesn't technically lose the streak. Giant Gonzalez being a prime example. Giant Gonzalez got disqualified, causing the Undertaker to lose. He lost the match. Because it was a disqualification, it wasn't technically classed as a win. It's very, very confusing. For WWE side of things, the company feels that with the network launching soon, Sting could be very useful when pushing WCW content, as he's considered the face of the promotion. In the past, WWE has had to rely on names like Ric Flair and DDP to push WCW content, but with Sting on board, he could be a big asset where WCW content is concerned. It goes without saying, WCW is Sting, Sting is WCW. For a good long time, he's the only wrestler out of all of them, I think, a good majority, who have never ever gone to WWE. He was WCW and NWA, WCW, all through and through, and that was it. He's never ventured outside that bubble until TNA. That was it. And I know it sounds silly, and I know it happens every year, but it would be so good to see Sting in WWE. Can just imagine the reaction and the pop he would get. It'd be epic. And him versus The Undertaker, both of these guys are the workhorses. They are the old hands, the old guard, two guys who are Undertaker is the face of has been the face of WWE, is WWE. You know, that character, that gimmick has been in it and is associated so heavily with WWE and WrestleMania. To have Sting, part of WCW, turn up, who is so synonymous with that company and that era, it would be epic. It would just be fantastic to see. So yeah, that's that news. Another bit of news, bit of TNA news. MVP is the secret investor in TNA, and looks like he can even use that MVP name, which is kind of surprising. I thought WWE kind of bought everyone's name on the planet and could sue everyone for using it. But yeah, he's the new secret investor, and it looks like he's going to have some power within storyline mode because he can book matches. So we'll see what they're doing. Apparently, by the looks of it, he might be having a faction against Dixie Carter's cronies, but we shall see how that goes. Some Southwest news for everyone in the southwest of England. The Weymouth show is on February 8th, to everyone who remembers. Please look at www.suplexwrestling.co.uk, I believe. That should be a fantastic show. That's held at Weymouth. That's been talked about many times on previous shows. For more information, please go to the website or go listen back to the other Crunch episodes. LEP Training School is now open 7 days a week. Plus, also they have their massive event on March 8th, which is a ladder match for the first ever Southwest Championship title, which should be fantastic. For any information, please go to their Facebook page, LEP Promotions Wrestling, for more details. And just like the page, they need all the help they can get, and they're fantastic little promotion. Also, in regards to that, a massive good luck to the Southwest's own Danny Walsh, who is in a number one contenders match against Kerry Caballero for the promotion Main Event Wrestling, coming from Maidstone. For more information, email admin@ukmaineventwrestling.com. Go and show your support for Pretty Boy. If you're going to be in Maidstone, or if you want to travel all the way down there, go and watch it. It's going to be a fantastic match, and if you've seen Danny Walsh wrestle, you're going to be in for a treat. Simple as that. Before we go, I also would like to say PWA on the 9th of February. So it's next week, next Sunday, I think. So yeah, you need to go and see that show, because it's going to have Danny Walsh there versus his brother Mark Walsh, the wrestler formerly known as Mark Walsh, Chris Marvel. It's going to be a fantastic main event. You've got Eddie Ryan on the show as well, so I believe Chris Andrews is going to be there, plus also Soldier Boy Steve Prince, UK Dominator. It's going to be a fantastic show. And also you've got Muggins here, who is doing the MC work, so I'll be ring announcing and you'll be able to see me live and in the flesh. So if you are a Crunch listener or Wrestling Rambling listener, please come up and say hello. It's nice to know people listening and showing your support. Hopefully see some of you or all of you on February 9th at Stonehouse Creek Leisure Centre in Plymouth. So yeah, there you go. That's the roundup for today. Hopefully there'll be a slight change coming soon to the show. We are looking at maybe turning this from a podcast to actually taped, in which case you'd be able to see my ugly mug talking directly at you, face to camera, screen, iPad, whatever you're listening to me on, or would be watching me on. But we'll see. It's all in the early stages at the moment. We're going to see how it comes out, do a few tests, do a few demo runs, see how it comes out and see what it looks like. On the other side of that, please carry on looking at our Crunch channel. We've got Crappy Commentaries just gone up with the first episode of Babylon 5 spin-off series Crusade. It is a pile of crap, hence why it's Crap Commentaries. And our next one, I believe we should be having me and Rich, the other Cruncher, talking heavily about Benefit Street, and just rambling and ranting and raving and getting irate about stuff. And I think we're even going to have put up us doing a small crappy commentary over a 15-minute segment of Benefit Street, because that's all we could stomach. So that will be coming soon. Also, for those of you who are really big into your sci-fi and are geeks, and those who remember the Jerry Anderson TV series called Space Precinct, about a bunch of aliens dressed as police officers in the future, really, really cheesy. We should be doing a crappy commentaries on that soon, as well as other things, and possibly some more Minecraft mayhem. It all depends on how dull and boring we're getting. We seem to be, I seem to have a thing at the moment where I just want to dig holes in the ground because I'm enjoying doing that. I think it's a way of de-stressing, I'm not sure. But anyway, we should be bringing you more content soon, and I'll always bring you Wrestling Ramblings, so hopefully there'll be another one up next week. Whether or not that will be a filmed one or recorded one through podcast, I do not know. Please carry on watching, please carry on liking, please share, please like, please follow, please do whatever you need to do, but please show your support for The Crunch. We love hearing from you as well, so if you've got any questions for me as the wrestling superfan and for Wrestling Ramblings, please comment or email the site or email the Facebook page. It's always good to hear from you, and if you want to ask me any questions in particular about any particular wrestling questions or pick my brains for anything, please do so. I love hearing from you. So yeah, there you go. I hope you enjoyed the show and look forward to seeing you all soon and doing another show. And remember, if you want to see me in person, February 9th, Stonehouse Creek, Plymouth, for the PWA show. So until then, hope everyone has a good weekend, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.